A right-wing reporter was called out live on the air during Steve Bannon's podcast on location in Hawaii. Take a look.
Hey, what's up, Nick? I've been trying to reach you. Been reaching out to you on X. You're supposed to be meeting with people here. What victims have you got?
Okay, yeah. So this is so you're seeing this live right now. People actually tracked me down.
I thought you were staying in a tent. You said you were coming and staying in a tent, Nick. You're taking up resources.
I'm not taking up any resources here.
Yes, you are.
No, I want to stay with it.
I don't know how you live with yourself, man. You've seen the devastation. You've seen the people. I can see you cheering up because you know how much these people are suffering.
No, you're literally here. You just.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to quickly get away. So I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say, to be honest. This is terrifying. This is terrifying. I don't even want to go near my vehicle. I don't want them to know what vehicle I'm driving either.
Okay, so you might be like, wait, what's this guy's problem? Like, what's he talking about? Seems pretty random that this guy would come up and start harassing, somebody on camera, a reporter, during a broadcast, right? Well, let me give you some details here, okay? And we'll see whether or not he's in the right or the wrong for doing this. So now the guy that you saw there reporting is Nick Sorter, an independent journalist affiliated with right-wing outlets like Newsmax and OAN. So he flew to Maui several days ago to report about the fires around Lahaina. Again, very devastating wildfires. Over 100 people dead. Hundreds more are missing. And so, look, I mean, absolutely just horrifying and devastating. Of course. So if you're a journalist, of course you're going to go down and you're going to cover it, right? So now, here's the thing, though. Judging from his own posts, Sorter wasn't there to talk to victims. He was there to investigate right-wing conspiracy theories. So now the right-wing conspiracy theory I'm talking about now is whether or not the fires were set on purpose and that the government is covering it up. I kid you not. This is what posts on the app formerly known as Twitter have been talking about. Conspiracy theorists have been posting, for example, things like this. Investors are calling Maui wildfire victims to buy their Hawaiian land, reports Newsweek. And the reason they say is rich and powerful people wanted to clear the land on the island so they could scoop it for cheap. So that, of course, basically, says that, oh, it's rich people that had the fire set on purpose to chase everyone out. Wait, do you have any evidence of this? This would be rather, crazy, right? Not that, and it's, by the way, it's not crazy that investors would come in and try to scoop up land. No, of course, that's what they do. They're investors, probably to build condos and things for ultra rich people to live in, and, to take advantage of it. That's called capitalism. The conspiracy theory that they're talking about, though, and the thing that's nuts is that somehow they started these wildfires on purpose, which is ridiculous. And so I think that that's what Sorter was there to investigate. And not again talk about how, hey, FEMA maybe not doing a great job, or the government kind of slow to respond, or whatever, or oh, the people need this and the people need that. Which, by the way, there's some that argue, Maui residents that argue that no, there's a lot of logistical challenges here, so I don't really fault the government or whatever for having a slow response. Okay, again, that's kind of up to your opinion on that. I would, again, defer to people who actually live there and who are experiencing these hardships, rather than make my own determination from the safety of my own home. But anyway, that's not what's going on here. The right wing is thinking, no, government cover-up, because apparently Oprah and Bill Gates or the Rothschilds and whatever were doing this to clear the land, and apparently Sorter is there to investigate that. In fact, here's what he posted on X, Twitter. He said, all right, I've had enough. Authorities from the U.S. government in Hawaii are not being transparent. Big shocker on that. I'm heading out to Hawaii tomorrow to figure out what the hell is going on in Maui. I want to bring other independent journalists with me. 100 plus are dead. Why? How? We're going to find out. My flight leaves in hours, and that was on August 14th. So he's been there for a while, and apparently he hasn't quite figured out exactly what's going on. And at least according to that person who was speaking to him, tracked him down. He hasn't really been talking to victims or anything like that. So now, look, here's the thing. Why is it that everything has to be a conspiracy theory? Why? Why can't it just be, I don't know, something a little bit more simple, a little bit more realistic? I mean, again, the reality here is that activists, climate activists, have been warning about these kinds of fires, wildfires happening for decades as a result of climate change. Again, climate change, things get warmer, air gets drier, drier conditions lead more to more wildfires. By the way, not just that, but also poor energy infrastructure. Again, places that experience drier conditions, you have an increased risk of wildfires. The fact that the power utility companies in Hawaii actually knew about and did nothing. They knew of this risk. And this is according to the New York Times. Hawaiian Electric has known for years that the extreme weather was becoming a bigger danger, but the company did little to strengthen its equipment and failed to adopt emergency plans used elsewhere, like being prepared to cut off power to prevent fires. Energy experts also say that in many places, utilities have neglected to sufficiently maintain and improve electric grids for decades, and regulators and lawmakers have largely looked the other way. So now look, if it turns out that Nick is investigating that, like, hey, the Hawaii Electric Power Company, and they said they were going to make all these millions of dollars in investments, decided not to, or Hawaiian legislators are on the take, you know, including Democrats, Republicans, whatever, and that's why they didn't upgrade the grid. Well, then I would owe Nick an apology and say, okay, dude, you were doing actual, real investigative journalist work. Great, wonderful. I'll take you seriously. But that I don't know if that's the case. I guess I can wait for him to surprise me, or I can assume, based on who he pals around with, conspiracy theorists, that he's going to be talking about conspiracy theories. Just saying. Now, why did the regulators and lawmakers look away from the Hawaii Electric Power Company's failings? Could be lobbying. You know, could be the vast amounts of money these energy corporations give in legal political contributions, I call them bribes, to these politicians to then look the other way. And look, these companies don't give out of the goodness of their own heart. No, they want a return on investment. It's pretty simple. Hey, I give you money as an entity. I donate money to your political campaign so that you win and keep your job. And then, as a politician, I get to talk to you. Talk as in legally give you money and have access to you so that I get to give you my ideas about the way I would like things to run. Mainly, please don't regulate me and also cut my taxes. This is the simplest thing in the world to figure out, and yet right-wingers have to go to space laser conspiracy theories and Oprah setting fires to explain things that are actually incredibly simple to explain. It's greed. It's greed. In fact, Michael Wara, a scholar focused on climate and energy policy at Stanford, said, quote, the problem with electric utilities in the United States is that they act like protected monopolies in the face of catastrophic risk. Well, that's because in all other facets, they are protected monopolies. They never get challenged by anything. Now, the problem is, of course, the environment doesn't care if you're a protected monopoly or not. It's not going to treat you like a protected monopoly. If it's going to do something, it's going to do something. Okay? If there's going to be fires, there's going to be fires. If those conditions are present, there's going to be fires. Okay? And so, look, these companies have allowed their infrastructure to stagnate and create those conditions that go hand in hand with, of course, a drier climate to create more risks of wildfires. And energy experts said that many of the company's poles in Hawaii were probably not strong enough to withstand winds that hit Lahaina. By the way, those get knocked down power lines, dry conditions, you've got wildfires. Many of the polls, they also say, were surrounded by invasive grasses that can become explosive tinder in the dry season. So you see what's going on here. Look, this doesn't have to be a conspiracy theory. No, what it is, it's greed. It's called maximizing profit. You want to know how much money the CEO of Hawaiian Electric made in 2022? $3.81 million in compensation. 23% from, just normal salary. 77% from bonuses, including company stock and options, which are, again, taxed at a lower rate than salary, which is why the vast majority of that compensation is in the form of bonuses like stocks and options. So all of that money taxed at a lower rate. And by the way, this is the same year that they laid off 100 employees. And in 2021, the company raked in about $177.6 million in net income, which was over $8 million more than in 2020. So during the pandemic, they cashed in. So there it is. The real issue here is corporate greed. While they're not upgrading and modernizing their systems, keeping track of their infrastructure, upgrading it, letting the power poles degrade, this guy's taking home $3.8 million a year as they're firing people, they're laying people off. Come on. And while having the highest electric bills in the country. But getting back to this guy, again, in my opinion, why Sorter is there is to do baseless conspiracy theories. Again, if he proves otherwise, I'll issue an apology today. That day, I should say. But so considering though why I think he's there, it would make sense that somebody would come and call him out on his BS, which is again a distraction from the realities that climate change and corporate profiteering with few regulations is causing disastrous wildfires. It's not Joe Biden's heat rays or Oprah's laser vision or whatever weirdo conspiracy they want to dream up, like
Jewish space lasers.
No, it comes down to the most simplest answer. Greed.